Hello everybody and welcome, I am Bricker Boom. And after the baby Pokemon challenge, I think I'm ready for something that hopefully isn't quite as difficult. We're going to be going through Pokemon FireRed with a single Gastly. Truthfully, I'd hoped to save this until around Halloween, but now that there are plenty of ghost Pokemons, I don't have to save it for a single month. Maybe we'll do another challenge with Gengar a little bit later, around Halloween. I'm not sure yet. But for now, let's go ahead and take a look at Gastly. Gastly has a base stat total of 310, which is a little below a starter Pokemon. But I think the fact that Gastly has such a diverse move pool will more than make up for it. Our special attack is great, our speed is pretty passable, and everything else is kinda horrible, so we need to hit fast, one shot, and then move on, because otherwise we're probably not gonna have a good time. So we start out with our Gastly, and our rival gets Charmander, and we name ourselves Lady after my wife and streamer, Lady B, since Gengar is one of her favorites. In hindsight, I regret not naming the Gastly Rick, but that's a whole other story. Gastly starts out with Hypnosis, a horribly inaccurate move, and Lick, a horribly weak move. However, the rival only has Scratch and Growl, so they have no way of hurting us for the time being. It didn't matter which starter was picked, mostly due to Gastly's move pool. We could match up well against whatever the final form was. This just seemed, since so many people like Charizard, this seemed like the best choice. The battle did take some time due to how weak Lick is, but we do paralyze it, and it can't touch us, so we do eventually win. We make our way through Viridian Forest, and unfortunately, we have to avoid the rival fight, the optional one, this time around. Due to him having Pidgey, we have no way of attacking it with our ghost typing, so in no time at all, we're in front of Brock after taking out the junior trainer. We're close to level 14, so to make sure that we get that last level before going to challenge Brock, we go back to the forest to grind. And it's at this point I notice our Jolly nature, which gives us more speed and less special attack, which is okay, I guess, but I would have preferred the special attack if I'm being honest. As we start with Brock, he sends out Geodude first, and we start licking, and it does stop it from defense curling a few times, but we also try Hypnosis, miss, and immediately go back to Lick and paralyze it. Thankfully, it has no way of stopping us, so we keep licking it until it finally goes down, leaving us with about 15 PP left. This may not go well, because the weaker of the two Pokemon took literally half of our power points. Onix is out, and we immediately miss Hypnosis as Rock Tomb hits us and lowers our speed. Onix misses the next Rock Tomb, and we land a Hypnosis. We switch to Curse, and while it does take us to Red, we need a way to take chunks of its HP down at a time. Lick doesn't do much, but curses quickly, and it wakes up and KOs us. Fantastic. Attempt 2 starts the same with Geodude, and this time when Onix comes out, we immediately put it to sleep and then immediately curse it right afterwards. This will let us survive one hit as long as it doesn't crit. We switch to Lick while it's asleep, but this time, it stays asleep long enough for us to knock it out and actually take the first badge. Mount Moon is nothing special, and I totally didn't need to mention that I took the Dome Fossil because that's the only choice anyone sane would make. We can't learn Mega Punch or Mega Kick, so we decide to move on. Rather than fight Misty first, we start to head towards the bridge. With the Psychic typing from Misty's Starmie, we want to level up a bit more. The problem is, I forgot about Pidgeotto, who we can't touch yet. So, we head to Misty, completely foregoing the plan that I had come up with. Staryu is first, and we open up with Lick, but Water Pulse hits us well below half. Nightshade does a good chunk, but a second Water Pulse is able to take us down. A few attempts later, and at level 25, we go to try again. Unfortunately, Water Pulse was dealing far too much damage for us to be able to tank. Starmie was able to take us out with one Water Pulse, and it's constantly faster than us, but at level 25, we're able to take Staryu out and two Nightshades, and then when Starmie Water Pulses us, we immediately put it to sleep. From there, it thankfully stays asleep for the rest of the battle, even after being healed up, and some Nightshades later, we're able to take it out for the victory. Now, unfortunately, we're back to exactly where we started with the rival, and still not being able to attack him. With that, we do have to level up to 28 so we can get Dream Eater. Now we have a way to attack normal types. With Pidgeotto, we put it to sleep and then one-shot it with Dream Eater. Abra is able to be taken down with a couple Nightshades. Charmander is out, and Nightshade brings it below half. We get chipped with Ember, and then take it down with the next Nightshade. Rattata is also a Pokemon that we have to put to sleep and then Dream Eater it to take a pretty easy victory. We do the rest of the bridge and immediately head to the ship. Due to our level, we don't bother fighting the people on the ship and then immediately head to do the rival fight. Pidgeotto's up first, and we start with Hypnosis to put it to sleep. Dream Eater is still a one-shot. Next up is Kadabra, who is now rather scary. We use Nightshade to bring it to yellow, and Confusion takes us out for a critical hit one-shot. Fantastic. Attempt 2. Pidgeotto's the exact same, who we put to sleep, and Dream Eater, and when Kadabra comes out, we put it to sleep this time. We use Nightshade, and 2 shots later, it goes down. As Charmeleon comes out, we bring it to half with Nightshade, and we get hit with Ember. Another Nightshade takes it out. Raticate is last, and we put it to sleep, and then use Dream Eater for a clean one-shot. We make a beeline for Surge, and he sends out Voltorb. We use Hypnosis and miss, get hit with Shockwave, but land the next Hypnosis, and Dream Eater, which lets us have full health as Pikachu comes out. We put Pikachu to sleep immediately, and Surge uses a full heal, so that makes us miss Dream Eater. Nightshade takes it to low red, and we get hit with Thunder Wave. We do manage to take it out a few turns later, as Raichu comes out and double teams. We miss Hypnosis, then stay paralyzed 2 turns in a row, but then you'll never guess what happens. We miss again, and then stay paralyzed again, and as it begins hitting us with Shockwave, we stay paralyzed and miss some more, bringing this rough first attempt to an end. With the second try, we miss Hypnosis, get hit with Shockwave, then put it to sleep and Dream Eater it. When Pikachu comes out, we predict the full heal, and for whatever reason, still use Dream Eater because that was the brain play to do. Putting it back to sleep a second time, we use Dream Eater and take it out. With Raichu, we're not paralyzed this time, so things are going to be a bit different. We use Hypnosis on Raichu, and a critical hit Dream Eater takes it out, earning us a pretty easy victory. From there, we go through the Dark Cave, and here, I always go to Giovanni first rather than fight the rival. It gives us some extra levels, and it only makes us have to go through the tower once rather than partially complete it, leave, then have to come back, and honestly, Giovanni is usually a pushover. Giovanni starts off with Onyx, and we use Psychic because we stopped by Saffron to grab this powerful move and take it out with 1 clean shot. Kangaskhan is next, and we do a small bit of damage with Psychic, get hit to 48 by it. We put it to sleep, and it immediately wakes up and tail whips us as we miss. We use Hypnosis again, it wakes up immediately again. Unfortunately, we repeat this a few different times because every time we put it to sleep, it immediately wakes up. Until it finally stays asleep and we Dream it to heal up and take it to red. It wakes up and uses Bite, and we finish it off with Psychic. Rhyhorn is next, and it has Paper Thin special defense as we take it out with 1 shot, giving us yet another victory. After that, it's time for us to visit the tower and also the rival fight. Pidgeotto's first, and we use Psychic to take it out 1 hit. Execute is next, and we have Shadow Ball now to take it out with 1 clean shot. Next up is Kadabra, and we continue to use Shadow Ball to take it out in 1 hit. Next up is Gyarados, and we use Psychic to bring it below half. It bites us for a decent chunk. We use another Psychic to take it down. Last up is Charmeleon, and we use Psychic to take it down below red. We do get Smokescreen, but we still land the next Psychic, winning us the battle. From there, it's time to go fight Erica, and she has mostly poison types with her team, so Psychic is probably going to tear through her, because guess what? Victory Bell is first, Tangela is next, Vileplume is third, and all of them go down to a single shot, officially landing us halfway to the Elite Four, at least in badge count. From here, we do go to the gym first in Fuchsia before going to the Safari Zone. With us having access to a part poison type, and self-destruct having no way to harm us, I feel pretty good about this particular battle, so might as well get it done. Coughing is up first, and we begin with Psychic to take it out easy. Next up is Muck, and we take it to a little below half with Psychic as it uses Minimize. We miss our next attack, and Sludge does very little to us. Next Psychic does hit to take it out. Coughing is out third, and we use Psychic for another 1 shot. Last, we have Wheezing, and Psychic leaves it with a Sliver, as Sludge does very minimal damage. Koga potions up, we bring it back to red and lower its special defense. So now, Koga potions up again, but due to its lowered stats, we're able to one-shot it. After that, we head to Silphco and take out some of the grunts before we try to square up against our rival. Pidgeot is out first, and now we're in a weird place because we can't one-shot his team anymore. And he has a fairly fully evolved team, and that's shown by us taking Pidgeot only to yellow, and it taking us to red. We do manage to put it to sleep and use Dream Eater to gain a little bit of health back, and that does also take it out. Next up is Execute, and we use Shadow Ball, but we only take it to red as it uses Confusion and takes us out with a crit. We try a few more times, but it's about the same result, so we're in a very good spot. We go around Sylph, we grab a few of the vitamins available, level up a couple times off the trainers before we try again. We use Psychic, and we're still only doing about half, but thankfully this time, we don't get taken to red by Wing Attack. This time, we put the eggs to sleep, Dream Eater it to gain a little bit of health back, and then we finish it off with a Shadow Ball. Alakazam comes out, we miss Hypnosis as it sets up Future Sight. We use some Dream Eaters to stay healthy as Future Sight hits us hard, but we're back up to 73 HP by the time it goes down. Gyarados is next, and we do a little over a quarter with Psychic, and it uses Leer, so we attempt to put it to sleep as it continues to Leer. We do put it to sleep a few turns later and begin gaining health back with Dream Eater, but we're not looking too good from Bite. Charizard is last, and immediately we miss Hypnosis to get taken out. After a dozen attempts later, we take Pidgeot out with Psychics, then put the eggs to sleep and Dream Eater it. With Alakazam, we put it to sleep and then naturally one-shot it with Shadow Ball. Gyarados is a pain because we don't have anything super useful for it, but at least we can do damage. So we put it to sleep, then swap to Shadow Ball, which does a very small amount. Psychic lands a much-needed crit to take it down as Charizard comes out. We cross our fingers and manage to put it to sleep and switch to Psychic to take it a bit above half. Another Psychic, and we get a critical hit to take it out. Let's go fight a Crime Lord. That's the next isekai anime that's coming out into a theater near you. I hope I said that right. I don't think I did. But Giovanni sends out Nidorino, and we take it down with one shot. Rhyhorn also goes down to a single shot, and Nidoqueen is next up. We take it below half, and it uses Poison Sting, but we take it down the next turn. 2 Psychics later, Kangaskhan goes down, and we're able to move on with the story a bit more. Now, since Sabrina has a team filled with Psychic types, I decide to go after Blaine first. While he's a fair level higher, some of his attacks like Stomp won't be able to touch us, and we're not dealing with a type disadvantage like we are against Sabrina. Blaine sends out Growlithe first, and we use Psychic to take it out to red, and it uses Fire Blast, which burns us, it heals up, and then that ends our attempt pretty quickly. With our second attempt, we take Growlithe down to red, and Blaine Hyper Potions, but due to its special drop, we take it out. With Arcanine, we put it to sleep and begin using Dream Eater because our health is in dire need of something. Dream Eater does about a quarter, so we switch to Shadow Ball, which barely does anything. We switch over to Psychic due to the special drop and take it out. Next up is Ponyta, and we try to put it to sleep, but then we get taken down. Attempt 3, and this time it's personal. We put Growlithe to sleep and immediately begin to spam Psychic, which brings it to red. Blaine does potion up, but we get a special drop, so we take the Puppo out. Arcanine is next, and we use Hypnosis to put it to sleep and take about a quarter damage with Psychic. We take it to yellow as it stays asleep, and next turn it goes down. Ponyta is next, and we use Hypnosis again to make it sleep, but Blaine full heals, which is fine, because we crit and one-shot of his Psychic. Rapidash is last, and we use Hypnosis and swap over to Psychic, which takes it to half. Rapidash wakes up, hits us down to 14 HP with Fire Blast, but thankfully, we land another Psychic and take the victory. After this attempt, we go to fight Giovanni because I forgot I had skipped Sabrina and spent a few minutes looking around like an idiot before I remember and head back to Saffron. Sabrina sends out Kadabra, and we use Shadow Ball for a clean one-shot. Mr. Mime is out, and we continue with Shadow Ball to take it out as well. With Alakazam, we surprisingly use Shadow Ball to take it out, and last is Venomoth, the weirdest choice for her team, and we knock it out as well. Now we can fight Giovanni. While we head there, I wanted to say this challenge is going far easier than I thought it would. We usually have to try a couple times because of how bad hypnosis accuracy is, but sleep is usually going to be an overpowered status condition, and with us having Dream Eater paired with it, it allows us to get some health back, so I can't complain. I also wanted to kindly remind you to like and subscribe, especially if you made it this far, and tell me which of the 8 gym leaders is your favorite. Now, as a kid, for me, I really liked Blaine, partly due to the anime, but as I've gotten older, I'm pretty sure I'm a Sabrina stan. It's fine. Giovanni is the 8th gym leader, and he specializes in ground types. Thankfully, his ground moves won't be able to hit due to levitate, but let's get on with it. He sends out Rhyhorn, who has poor special, and we take it out with 1 psychic. Next is Dugtrio, who has the worst HP pool in Gen 1, but still survives a psychic. It can't use Earthquake on it, so it gets healed up next turn as we use Shadow Ball to test the damage. We use another Shadow Ball to take it down. Nidoqueen is up next, and we use Psychic to take it down to red, as Poison Sting does very little. Giovanni potions up again, and we bring it back to red, then drop it with Shadow Ball. Nidoking is next, and we use Psychic for a nice one-shot, and last up is Rhyhorn. Psychic brings it to red, it uses Scary Face, and another Psychic takes it down, letting us grab the last badge. With the rival fight, I'm not gonna lie, I messed up hardcore on my screen resolutions because I did a bit of recording off screen, and because of this, we're not gonna show the Elite Four pre-rival fight. I'm sorry, I'll show a little bit here. You can barely see what's happening on either end. HP bars aren't available, and I messed up. With that being said, it's time to start the Lorelei fight, and it's about 20 attempts in, because I take a break, and then I notice my screen resolution issues. So we're going to start at level 75, and that's when we're finally able to survive more than 1 shot from Dugong, and we start by putting it to sleep. We also adjusted our moveset to have Giga Drain, because we were getting absolutely demolished. We managed to take out Dugong, and as Slowbro comes out, we put it to sleep, then Shadow Ball it, and get a nice critical hit. Lapras comes out, and we put it to sleep and switch to Psychic to do about a quarter. Ice Beam brings us all the way to 67, but we're able to use Giga Drain to bring it to low yellow and heal up before another Ice Beam connects to bring us to 31. Final Giga Drain manages to take it out and give us a small chunk of HP back. When Cloyster comes out, since it has very poor special, we're able to one-shot it with Giga Drain, and we're nearly full health for Jinx. Shadow Ball is a one-shot for Jinx, and we're finally able to move on. Again, sorry for the lost footage, and sorry for having to skip right to the level up winning attempt, but it was ugly. I'm sorry. With having to level up so much against Lorelei, Bruno is up next, and it's Bruno. Onyx is up first. I use Giga Drain to gain back a little HP that I lost. It goes down with 1 shot. Next up is Hitmonchan. With access to Psychic, it goes down in 1 shot. Onyx is third and also goes down. Machamp comes out, and we use Psychic again, which takes it to red, and lower its special. It uses Scary Face, its Berry activates. Even with Scary Face, we're able to outspeed and finish it off the next turn. Last up is Hitmonlee, and it uses Foresight to try setting up to be able to hit me, but a single Psychic is enough to do the job. Next up is Agatha, and this should be an interesting matchup, since she has the second and third form of the Pokemon that we're using. Gengar is first, and we use Psychic to take it down with 1 shot. While we're over-leveled, it honestly surprises me how easily we're able to tear through her team. Golbat, Haunter, Arbok, and her last Gengar will go down with a single shot. I am curious if she would have been able to hit if she would have just ended up one-shotting me. I'm wondering if our speed is what saved us. Last up is Lance, and here's where we start having troubles again, but let's go ahead and show what's happening. Lance sends out Gyarados, and we use Psychic to at least test the damage, and do a little under half as it uses Dragon Rage. We test with Shadow Ball, and it does even less, and we get Dragon Raged again. We finish it off with Psychic, but our HP isn't great. Aerodactyl's next, and we use Giga Drain to try getting some health back, and a single wing attack takes us down to 23 HP. Then we miss Hypnosis and get taken out. We go through a long line of attempts, and Aerodactyl's absolutely tearing through us. If we manage to get through Aerodactyl, there's a horrifying Dragonite right behind the shadows to smack us down. Finally, at level 85, and with a new moveset, we try again. Thunderbolt hits Gyarados for one shot, so that's one problem out of the way. Aerodactyl's next, and we use Thunderbolt, and thankfully get another one shot. Next up is Dragonite, and we hit it for Psychic for about a third. Safeguard prevents us from paralyzing it with Thunderbolt, but we just keep using Psychic and get a much-needed critical hit to take us out. Dragonair comes out, and a Psychic takes it down to red, and we get smacked with Outrage. The next Psychic takes it out. The final Dragonair is up, and we use Psychic to take it to red and get Thunder Waved, and oh, please don't tell me we're gonna lose. Nope. Even though Lance heals up, we get a critical hit and win the battle. I will say this could have been done at a little bit lower of a level. That critical hit against the Dragonite is honestly what the battle hinged on. I hate having to use luck for some of these battles, but at the end of the day, sometimes that's all you need. Up against the rival, we use Thunderbolt against Pidgeot to take it out for a clean one-shot. Alakazam is next, and we use Shadow Ball for another clean one-shot. Gyarados is next, and we Thunderbolt, and it's a single one-shot. Exeggutor is up, and we use Shadow Ball to take it a little above half and then get put to sleep. Great. It uses Light Screen and begins Giga Draining us while we snooze for way too long, and by the time it goes down, we're down to 4 HP. Rhydon has special defense of Paper Mache, so we need to take it out with a one-shot, which we do. And last up is Charizard. Thunderbolt hits, and we take it to low red, then immediately get annihilated with Fire Blast. Very, very close. Now, we do this battle about a dozen times, and I'll be honest, level 85 is, again, it's possible for a victory, but only if you get a critical hit against Charizard. The sleep from Scrambled Eggs is rough, but with Rhydon, you get a good chunk of HP back since it goes down in one shot. You just need to make sure you have a single Giga Drain left. To make it consistent after the crit, I did test each level one by one. If you want to win without relying on a crit and not having to worry about the damage range, level 88 is the way to go. As I'm showing here on the screen, you can see each Pokemon here being hit by one shot after one shot simply due to having a super effective moveset. Exeggutor is the only exception because it is always a pain, but Sleep isn't too terrible unless it crits its Giga Drain. We can survive through pretty much every single shot. Rhydon is always going to go down in one shot. Last up is Charizard. Thunderbolt at level 88 is enough for a clean one-shot and win us the challenge. Unfortunately, if Charizard lives through any of these attempts and connects with Fire Blast, which is, again, another way to win the battle, you're done. Our special defense is too poor, and its special attack is too high to be able to live through any of it. But, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed the challenge, because I really enjoyed it myself. This was a lot of fun. Gastly did better than I thought. Some of his stats are pretty subpar, but his move pool and special attack more than make up for it. I'm gonna keep trying to make these every week, but these may be an every other week or a once-a-month upload. They're getting a bit difficult to keep up with as the channel grows, and I need to expand on what I'm doing, but also still working a 40-hour-week job. The easiest way, in all honesty, to keep these challenges going is to like, subscribe, and comment. It lets me know that these are interesting to you, it helps grow the channel, and it'll potentially get other people. I really am gonna keep trying to make this happen as frequently as possible, but we'll see what happens. So, with all that being said, if you liked the video, even if you didn't like the video, think about hitting the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out.